ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टाप्रायेषु बुद्धेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 4. The atrocities of King Kamsa. Shri Sukha Uvacha Bahirantahpurahद्वारः सर्वा पूर्ववद् आवृताः ततो बालध्वनिं श्रुत्वा गृहपालः समुत्थिताः. Sukadeva Goswami continued, My dear King Parikshit, the doors inside and outside the house closed as before. Thereafter, the inhabitants of the house, especially the watchmen, heard the crying of the newborn child and thus awakened from their beds. ते तु तूर्णम् उपव्रज्य देवक्या गर्भजन्म तत् आचक्युर्भोजराजाय यद् उद्विग्नः प्रतीक्षते. Thereafter, all the watchmen very quickly approached King Kamsa, the ruler of the Bhoja dynasty, then submitted the news of the birth of Devaki's child. Kamsa, who had awaited this news very anxiously, immediately took action. सतल्पात् तूर्णम् उत्थाय कालोऽयम् इति विह्वलः सूतिगृहम् अगात् तूर्णं प्रस्खलन् मुख मुक्तमूर्धजः. Kamsa immediately got up from bed, thinking, Here is Kala, the supreme time of a factor, which has taken birth to kill me. Thus overwhelmed, Kamsa, his hair scattered on his head, at once approached the place where the child has been born. Tam aha bhrataram devi kripana karunam sati snuseyam tava kalyana striyam mahantum arhasi. Devaki helplessly, piteously appealed to Kamsa. My dear brother, all good fortune unto you. Don't kill this girl. She will be your daughter-in-law. Indeed, it is worthy of you to kill a woman, unworthy of you to kill a woman. बहवो हिंसिता भ्रातः शिशवः पावकोपमाः त्वया दैव निःशिष्टेन पुत्रिकैका प्रदीयताम्. My dear brother, by the influence of destiny, you have already killed many babies, each of them as bright and beautiful as fire. But kindly spare this daughter. Give her to me as your gift. नन्वहं ते हि अवरजा दीनहता सुता प्रभो दातुम् अर्हसि मन्दाय अंगे मां शरमां प्रजाम्. My lord, my brother, I am very poor, being bereft of all my children, but still I am your younger sister, and therefore it would be worthy of you to give me this last child as a gift. Shri Sukha uvacha upaguhyaत्मजा एवं रुद्धत्वा दीनवत् याचितस्तां विनिर्भर्ष्य हस्ताद् आचिध्येदे खलः. Shukadeva Goswami continued, Piteously embracing her daughter and crying, Devaki begged Kamsa for child, but he was so cruel that he chastised her, forcibly snatched the child from her hands. तां गृहीत्वा चरणयोर्जातमात्रं स्वसुताम् अपोत्थयच्छिलापृष्ठे स्वार्थोन्मूलितसौहृदः. Having uprooted all relationship with his sister, Because of intense selfishness, Kamsa, who was sitting on his knees, grasped the newborn child by the legs and tried to dash her against the surface of a stone. सतदष्टात् समुत्पत्त्या सद्यो देव्या अम्बरं गताम् अदृश्यतानुजा विष्णोः सायुधाष्टमहाभुजा. The child Yogamaya Devi, the younger sister of Lord Vishnu, slipped upward from Kamsa's hands and appeared in the sky as Devi, the goddess Durga with 8 arms, completely equipped with weapons. दिव्यश्रग अम्बरालेप रत्नाभरभूषिता धनुःशूलेषु चर्मासि शङ्खचक्रगदाधर सिद्धचानरगन्धर्वैरप्सरा किन्नररोगैः उपाहृतोरु बलिभिः स्तूयमानेदम् अब्रवीत्. The goddess Durga was decorated with flower garlands, smeared with sandalwood pulp, and dressed with excellent garments and ornaments made of valuable jewels, holding in her hands a bow, a trident, arrows, a shield, a sword, and a conch shell, a disc, and a club, and being praised by celestial beings like Apsara, Kinnara, Uragas, Siddhas, Chanaras, and Gandharvas who worshipped her with all kinds of presentations. She spoke as follows. किं मया हतया मन्द जातखलु तवान्तकृत् तत्र क्व वा पूर्व शत्रुर्मा हिंसि कृपणमन् वृताः. O Kamsa, you fool, what will be the use of killing me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has been your enemy from the very beginning and who will certainly kill you, has already taken his birth somewhere else. Therefore, do not unnecessarily kill other children. इति प्रभास्यत्तं देवी माया भगवती भुवि बहुनाम निकेतेषु बहुनाम बभूव. After speaking to Kamsa in this way, the goddess Durga Yogamaya appeared in different places such as Varanasi and became celebrated by different names such as Annapurna, Durga, Kali and Bhadra. तया विहितम् आकर्ण कंस परम विस्मितः देवकीं वसुदेवं च विमुच्य प्रसृतो ब्रवीत्. After hearing the words of the goddess Durga, Kamsa was struck with wonder. Thus he approached his sister Devaki and brother-in-law in Vasudeva, released them immediately from their shackles, and very humbly spoke as follows. अहो भगिन्यहो भाम मया वां बत पाप्मना पुरुषाद इवापत्यं भवहो हिंसिताः सुताः. Alas, my sister, alas, my brother-in-law, I am indeed so sinful that exactly like a man-eater, Rakshasa who eats his own child, I have killed so many sons born of you. सत्त्वहं त्यक्तकारुण्यस्तक्ता ज्ञाति सुहृत्खलः कान् लोकान् वै गमिष्यामि ब्रह्महेत्वो मृतः स्वसन्. Being merciless and cruel, I have forsaken all my relatives and friends. Therefore, like a person who has killed a Brahmana, I do not know to which planet I shall go, either after death or while breathing. दैवमपन्त्रं दैवमप्यनृतं भक्ति न मत्या एव केवलं यद्विश्रम्भाद् अहं पापः स्वसुर्निहतवाञ्चिसून्. Alas, not only human beings but sometimes even providence lies, and I am so sinful that I believed the omen of providence and killed so many of my sister's children. मा शोचतं महाभागाव आत्मजान् स्वकृतं भुजः जान्तवो न सदैकत्र Daivadinas tadasate. O great souls, your children have suffered their own misfortune. Therefore, please do not lament for them. All living entities are under the control of the Supreme and they cannot always live together. भुवि भौमानि भूतानि यथा यान्ति अपयान्ति च नायम् आत्मा तथैतेषु विपर्येति यथैव भूः. In this world, we can see that pots, dolls, and other products of earth appear, break, and then disappear, mixing with the earth. Similarly, the bodies of all conditioned living entities are annihilated, but the living entities, like the earth itself, are unchanging and never annihilated. न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे यथा नेवं विदो भेदो यथा आत्मा विप्रययाः देहयोगवियोगौ च संसृतिर्न निवर्तते. One who does not understand the constitutional position of the body and the soul Atma becomes too attached to the bodily concept of life. Consequently, because of attachment to the body and its byproducts, he feels affected by union with and separation from his family, society, and nation. As long as this continues, one continues his material life. Otherwise, one is liberated. तस्माद् भद्रे स्वतनयान् मया व्यापादितान् अपि मानुषो च यतः सर्वः स्वकृतं विन्दते वशः. My dear sister Devaki, all good fortune unto you. Everyone suffers and enjoys the results of his own work under the control of providence. Therefore, although your sons have unfortunately been killed by me, please do not lament for them. यावद्दतोऽस्मि हन्तास्मि त्वा आत्मानं मन्यते स्वदृक् तावत् तद् अभिमान्यो बाध्याबाधकताम् इयात्. In the bodily conception of life, one remains in darkness without self realization, thinking, I am being killed or I have killed my enemies. As long as a foolish person thus considers the self to be the killer or the killed, he continues to be responsible for material obligations and consequently he suffers the reactions of happiness and distress. क्षमध्वं मम दौरात् दौरात्म्यं साधवो दीनवत्सलाः इत्युक्त्वाश्रुमुखः पादौ श्याल स्वश्रोरथाग्रहीत्. Kamsa begged, my dear sister and brother-in-law, please be merciful to such a poor-hearted person as me, since both of you are saintly persons. Please excuse my atrocities. Having said this, Kamsa fell at the feet of Vasudeva and Devaki, his eyes full of tears of regret. मोचयामास निगधाद् विसृब्धः कन्यकागिरा देवकीं वसुदेवं च दर्शयन् आत्मसौहृदम्. Fully believing in the words of goddess Durga, Kamsa exhibited his familial affection for Devaki and Vasudeva by immediately releasing them from their iron shackles. भ्रातुः समानुतप्तस्य क्षान्ता रोषा च देवकी व्यसृजद् वसुदेवश्च प्रहस्य तं उवाचः. When Devaki saw her brother actually repentant while explaining ordained, ordained events, she was relieved of all anger. Similarly, Vasudeva was also free from anger. Smiling, he spoke to Kamsa as follows. एवम् एतद्महाभागा यथा वदसि देहिनाम् अज्ञानप्रभवाम् हम दीहि स्वपरेति विधायतः. O great personality Kamsa, only by the influence of ignorance does one accept the material body and bodily ego. What do you what you have said about this philosophy is correct. Persons in the bodily concept of life lacking self-realization differentiates in terms of this is mine and that belongs to another. शोक हर्ष भय द्वेष लोभ मोह मदान्विताः मिथो ज्ञातं न पश्यन्ति भावैर्भाव पृथग्दृशः. Persons with the vision of differentiation are imbued with the material qualities lamentation, jubilation, fear, envy, greed, illusion, and madness. They are influenced by the immediate cause, which they are busy counteracting because they have no knowledge of the remote, supreme cause, the personality of Godhead. श्रीसुक उवाच कंस एवं प्रसन्नाभ्यां विशुद्धं प्रतिभाषतः देवकी वसुदेवाभ्याम् अनुज्ञातो विशद्ग्रहम्. Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus having been addressed in purity by Devaki and Vasudeva, who were very much appeased, Kamsa felt pleased, and with their permission he entered his home. तस्यां रात्र्यां व्यतीतायां कंसाहूय मन्त्रिणः तेभ्य आचष्ट तत् सर्वं यदुक्तं योगनिद्रया. After that night passed, Kamsa summoned his ministers and informed them of all that had been spoken by Yogamaya, who has revealed that he who was to slay Kamsa had already been born somewhere else. आकर्णभर्तुर्गदितं तम् ऊचुर्देवशत्रवः देवान् प्रति कृतामर्षा दैतेयानातिकोविदाः. After hearing their master's statement, the envious asuras, who were enemies of the demigods and were not very expert in their dealings, advised Kamsa as follows. एवं चेत् तर्हि भोजेन्द्र पुरग्रामव्रजादिषु अनिर्दशान् निर्दशांश्च हनिष्यामोऽद्य वै शिशून्. If this is so, O king of the Bhoja dynasty, beginning today, we shall kill all the children born in all the villages, towns, and pasturing grounds within the past 10 days or slightly more. किमुद्यमैः करिष्यन्ति देवा समरभीरवः नित्यम् उद्विग्नमनसो धनुषस्तव. The demigods always fear the sound of your bowstring. They are constantly in anxiety, afraid of fighting. Therefore, what can they do by their endeavors to harm you? अस्य तस्ते सतः व्रातेर्हन्यमाना समन्ततः जिजीविषव उत्सृज्य पलायन पराययुः. While being pierced by your arrows, which you discharged on all sides, some of them who were injured by the multitude of arrows, but who desired to live, fled at the battle intent on escaping. केचित् प्राञ्जलयो दीना न्यष्टशस्त्रादिवौकशः मुक्तकच्चशिखा केचित् भीताः स्म इति वादिनः. Defeated and bereft of all weapons, some of the demigods gave up fighting and praised you with folded hands, and some of them, appearing before you with the loosened garments and hair, said, O Lord, we are very much afraid of you. न त्वं विस्मृत शस्त्रास्त्रान् विरतान् भयसंवृतान् हंस्यन्याशक्तविमुखान् भग्नचापान् अयुध्यतः. किं क्षेमसूरैर्विबुधैर् असंयुग्विकत्तनैः रहोजुषा किं हरिणा सम्भुना वा वनौकशा किम् इन्द्रेणाल्पवीर्येण ब्रह्मणा वा तपस्यता. The demigods boost uselessly while away from the battlefield. Only where there is no fighting can they show their prowess. Therefore, for such demigods we have nothing to fear. As for Lord Vishnu, he is in seclusion in the core of the hearts of the yogis. As for Lord Shiva, he has gone to the forest, and as for the Brahma, he is always engaged in austerity and meditation. The other demigods, headed by Indra are devoid of prowess. Therefore, you have nothing to fear. तथापि देवः सापत्न्यां नोपेक्ष्य इति मन्महे ततस्तन्मूलखनने नियुक्ष्वास नियुक्ष्वास्मान् अनुव्रतान्. Nonetheless, because of their enmity, our opinion is that the demigods should not be neglected. Therefore, to uproot them completely, engage us in fighting with them, for we are ready to follow you. यथा मयोऽङ्गे समुपेक्षितोऽनुद्भिर्न शक्यते रूढपदश्चिकित्सितुं यतेन्द्रियग्राम उपेक्षिता तथा रिपु रिपुर्महान् बद्धबलो न चाल्यते. As a disease, if initially neglected, becomes acute and impossible to cure, or as the senses, if not controlled at first, are impossible to control later. An enemy, if neglected in the beginning, later becomes insurmountable. मूलं हि विष्णुर्देवानां यत्र धर्म सनातनः तस्य च ब्रह्मणो ब्रह्मगो विप्रास्तपो यज्ञाश्च दक्षिणाः. The foundation of all the demigods is Lord Vishnu, who lives and is worshipped wherever there are religious principles, traditional cultures, the Vedas, cows, brahmanas, austerities, and sacrifices with proper remuneration. Tasmat sarvatmana rajan brahmanan brahmavadinah tapasvino yajnashilan gascha hamno havir dughaha. O king, we who are your adherents in all respects shall therefore kill the Vedic Brahmanas, the persons engaged in offering sacrifices and austerities, and the cows that supply milk from which clarified butter is obtained for the ingredients of sacrifice. Vipra gavascha vedascha tapah satyam dama satmaha shraddha daya titiksha cha कृतवश्च हरेस्तनुः. The Brahmanas, the cows, Vedic knowledge, austerity, truthfulness, control of mind and senses, and faith, mercy, tolerance, and sacrifice are the different parts of the body of Lord Vishnu, and they are paraphernalia for a godly civilization. Sahi sarvasura diyaksho ya asura dvid गुहा सह तन्मूलदेवता सर्वाः सेवा सेस्वराः स चतुर्मुखाः अयं वै तद् वधोपायो यत् ऋष्णीनां विहिंसनम्. Lord Vishnu, the super soul within the core of everyone's heart, is the ultimate enemy of the Asuras and is therefore known as Asura Dvit. He is the leader of all demigods because all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, exist under his protection. The great saintly persons, sages, and Vaishnavas also depend upon him to persecute the Vaishnavas. Therefore, he is the only way to kill Vishnu. श्रीसुक उवाच एवं दुर्मन्त्रिभिः कंसः सह सम्मन्त्र्य दुर्मतिः ब्रह्महिंसां हितं मेने कालपाशावृतोऽसुरः. Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus, having considered the instructions of his bad ministers Kamsa, who was bound by the laws of Yamaraja, devoid of good intelligence because he was a demon, decided to persecute the supreme saintly persons, the Brahmanas, as the only way to achieve his own good fortune. सन्धिष्य साधु लौकिकस्य कदने कदन प्रियान् कामरूपाधरान् दीक्षु दानवान् गृह आविशत्. These demigods, the followers of Kamsa, were expert at persecuting others, especially the Vaishnavas, and could assume any form they desired. After giving these demons permission to go everywhere and persecute the saintly persons, Kamsa entered his palace. ते वै रजः प्रकृतयस्तेषां tamasa mudha chetasah satam vidveshamācherur ārād agata mrityavaha. Surcharged with passion and ignorance and not knowing what was good or bad for them, the asuras for whom impending death was waiting began the persecution of the saintly persons. आयुश्रियः यशो धर्मं लोकानाशिष एव च हन्ति श्रेयांसि सर्वाणि पुंसो महत् अतिक्रमः. My dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, religion, blessings, and promotion to higher planets will be destroyed. La Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yes, and the Lord is going to appear. See how much disturbance and obstacles are there. Why? Because we are living in material world, and the material world is always not so conducive for spiritual uh, activities, and so yeah, that's why sometimes people call that yeah, what is it called? Ashtami, as per astrology, says that it's not good for the maternal uncle. Yeah. So here, not only that, though everything was favorable, yeah, when we see it is said that all the conditions were favorable for when the Lord was appearing, though it was Ashtami, uh, we can see that auspiciousness was not accepted by Kamsa. He was not accepting the Lord to be all auspicious, so he was always thinking to be a threat because he had always the sense of threat. That's why whatever he did, what happened? Just, yeah, it was cause of his suffering. Okay, we'll stop here and next week we can continue. And tomorrow we will have a very special, uh, we'll have, yeah, mm, we will take one of the pastime, either Govardhan Leela or Damodar Leela. Yeah, let's see. Uh, and then we will remind ourselves the value of such wonderful pastimes of the Lord at 7:30 tomorrow. Take rest. See you tomorrow morning 7:30. पंचाकल्पा तरभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Please don't miss if you want to relish the sweet childhood pastimes of the Lord, especially especially on the occasion of Kartik month. Hare Krishna.